bloke.
Yeah, H. You tell him.
3,
Or is AB?
2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Amal, and joining me tonight, I have Mus, Andy, and Carl. And we are the Monday Blues on our way to Brisbane. Well, not all of us, some of us. Some missed out, unfortunately, but some of us are on our way to Brisbane in the Baggers' first prelim final in a long time. To those watching along, welcome to the preliminary final preview. Thank you for joining. Send us a nice little message, a nice little hello in the chat if you don't mind. And for the boys here, a quick shout out before we jump into just how we're feeling. A quick shout out to George, who was a late out. What was it? A broken toe or pulled calf muscle or something like that? Carl, do you have any news on that?
You're on mute. There's some news.
Oh, Carl.
Carl,
Sorry, gents. I think it was concussion. Myself, not him. Myself. Oh, shit.
Oh,
it's all happening.
Well, I'll kick it off with you, Carl. How are you feeling? How's your week been? Coming off the back of a historic win against the D's.
Other than being sick, yeah, it's been a slow week, to be honest. I think the build-up's been slow. I feel like it took forever for this day to come and the teams to be named. But yeah, slowly but surely it's tracking along nicely, man. What about you boys?
Moss, how you feeling,
Yeah,
bro?
mate. It's been mate, I've been booking flights, cancelling flights, trying to get money back, trying to get cheaper flights. It's been chaos, but yeah, look, we got lucky enough to get some flights, and AH organised the accom, which is good. I think it's a bit scarce at the moment trying to find accommodation in Brisbane, but I think we're good. We're good. Andy?
Oh, I'm so G'd up. I'm actually we're in a fucking prelim. 3 months ago, we were nowhere and we are in a prelim. It blows my mind. Think about it. Carlton is in a fucking prelim. And we are going to go to Brisbane and we're going to teach those dogs a lesson. I'm telling you. Also, just hi to everyone in the chat. I just want to give a shout out to Justin, who said, I heard if Carlton make the granny, Andy is giving out free slabs. I'll tell you what, Justin, if we make the granny, I will pour an entire slab all over you, mate.
Nice one. Nice.
Mark, how you going?
Oh, look, I can't tell you guys how many times I've watched the last couple of minutes of the Melbourne Carlton game over and over and over again. And every single time I watched it, it was the same feeling, like that those goosebumps and that nervous feeling that was sort of running through my stomach when I was at the game was happening every single time I replayed it. It was intense. I will never ever forget that. And I think I said, the Sydney game where we had 100,000 or 92,000, and the majority of them were all Carlton, was probably the greatest game I've ever been to in my life. The very next week, that the Melbourne Carlton game surpassed that. So yeah, it's been a good week. But then as soon as the game finished, Mus was quick enough to book tickets, but by the time I got there, which was literally 10 or 15 minutes later, the flights were like $800, $900, and I was barkling this time. I couldn't do it. So while the week started off good, it's kind of it's been a bit flat since I can't go to Brisbane. But anyway, it is what it is. To those in the chat, how's your week been? Let us know in the chat. How have you recovered off the back of the semi-final win against the D's? I know a couple of the boys got sick here after the game. Andy, you're not feeling too crash hot. Carl is a little under the weather, as he mentioned, and George with a bit of a sickness as well. But here we are. Now we've got a massive game in front of us. Massive game. It's a preliminary final. A prelim.
Sounds weird.
Prelim. I can't believe it. We are playing the Lions up at the GABBA on Saturday, 23rd of September 2023 at 5:15 p.m. How are we feeling about this game, Andy?
Sounds weird. prelim.
Yeah.
I'm so G. Like I said, we're the underdogs. We're going into this heavy underdogs,
Good.
and I love that.
Yeah.
Because we have proven teams wrong all year. We've proven the media wrong. Hey, they proved us wrong early on. So trust the system, trust the process, and we will get it done. Brisbane will bring it, but we will bring it to the final quarter. Until that final siren has sounded, we will be giving 100%. And if Brisbane can match it and still beat us, mate, all props to them. But we are going to bring it for 4 full quarters, and we're going to get it done. I'm telling you.
Musa, how are you feeling?
Yeah, look, sometimes I remind myself subsequently that we've played 13 elimination finals in a row.
Yeah.
At 96,000 last week. So going to Brisbane, I mean, yes, definitely the stage is set, but it's another tick of the box if you sort of look at it from a bigger picture, because we've played on bigger grounds, we've played in bigger scenarios. I mean, yes, obviously it's a prelim, massive, huge, big achievement, but we've played 13 in a row, elimination finals. So I'm confident. It's just Brisbane's track record, playing him over there. It's just that's the tough side of it, I think. But look, as long as we can get to that 19th man going over there, you know, a few of us are going in numbers. And we got to get behind the boys and be that 19th man. But yeah, look, I am confident. I'm not going to say, you know, we're going to smash them and whatnot, but it's probably going to be another close game, hopefully. Hopefully not as close as last week, because I've barely recovered. Heart rate's been, you know, up and down, blood pressure and all the rest of it. So it's a bit shaky after that. But look, we'll see how. Big achievement, though, thus far. Like, from where we were to where we are now, massive improvements across the board. You know, the conversations are more positive. It's fantastic to see. Everyone's up and about. There's guys that have never spoken to me about football I've known for 20-odd years, and all of a sudden they come out of the woodwork. They're Carlton supporters. So it's good to see.
Heaps of those.
Quick mention for just the comment that I saw come through in the chat from Joe Bruno, who reckons, Monsieur, you're a little worried because Harry's coming back into the side. How are we feeling about the inclusions? And we'll go through them in a sec.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll go through them now. So coming into the side for Carlton, we'll start with the outs, actually. Going out, Brody Kemp, David Cunningham, Matty Kennedy, and Matthew Owies. And coming in, Harry Mackay, Jack Munn, and Jordan Boyd. For the Lions, Jack Payne and Jared Lyons are going out of the side, and coming in, Darcy Gardner. How do we feel about those ins and outs? Carl, what do you think about that?
Look, probably a bit stiff to a couple of the boys, but I kind of understand that we're probably going in with pace.
Yeah.
Brisbane's a quick team. That's probably why Boyd's probably come in. Look, it's surprised me though at the same time. Like, I know we're going for speed, but he hasn't played, I think, since, was it round 18-ish or before that? It was against Port Adelaide he got suspended. So
Was it Port? Yeah, it was Port.
It was Port, yeah. So I'm a bit confused, but I kind of get it. As for always, maybe been a bit down the last couple of weeks. Like Andy said, like Musa Bina was saying, we've got to trust the system, I guess. And yeah, I believe in it.
Happy with the ins and outs?
Oh yeah, I'm happy. I mean, Harry, we missed him last week. We miss him.
Absolutely, we did.
Yeah, we miss him. We miss that, what he brings up, takes that pressure off Charlie. That pressure he brings up on the wing, the marking contest. We need that. We need that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's massive. And Jack Martin, we know what Jack does. Yeah.
It's hard. It's Jack Martin is a massive in. But Harry Mackay, let's spend a bit of time on that, right? Last week, it got to the fourth quarter, and I think it was so clearly evident that Charlie Curnow was on one of the best key defenders in the game in Stephen May, and he wore him down. So Harry Mackay and Charlie Curnow, if there's ever a week for you guys to work out, your forward craft, it's now. Please, for the love of God,
I'm
work
backing.
it out.
I'm backing Harry this week.
You know what? I do too.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, sucked in.
I'm thinking Harry kicks at least 4.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm going for it. I think Harry will fucking dominate. He's a competitor at the end of the day, right? And if I'm in his shoes and I'm hearing all this rubbish from the media, even the fans, even us, that competitor, that competitive beast in me is gonna wanna dominate. I will want to rip a game apart. And what better stage? Brisbane, away, prelim, grand final on the line. 20,000 Carlton fans have travelled. What a better stage. You know what I mean? And I think Harry will, I reckon he's going to rip them apart, man. They'll be so Charlie focused that Harry must, not that he will, he must rip the game apart.
Hmm.
What are your thoughts, Morse? I know you...
The stage is definitely set. And if it is any game, it's got to be this one. What helps us is Payne being out. Andrews becomes their key, takes Kerno. It opens it up for Harry. So I'm hoping that Harry can come with his A game, have a bit of positivity about him, get around the ground, take some contested early marks, and hopefully kick an early goal. And that will have his confidence sky high, and he can build from there. But I'll tell you what, if Harry doesn't come out and do that from the opening bounce, I'm afraid we're probably going to see much of what we've, saw towards the latter of that game when he got concussed.
See, that's where, if it doesn't happen in the first quarter, then he has to build a game. This is like finals are what build a reputation. Finals is what builds a legacy.
Yep.
And if if he's worth, if he's worth his salt, then mate, he's going to make up for those 2 misses against Sydney. And at the very least, help. If he's not going to kick the goals himself, which he was. He did really well against Sydney early. But he needs to build a decent game. And better than a decent game. He needs to build a great game. If it doesn't happen early, don't drop your head.
Yeah, if you're listening, please, because that's kind of sort of what potentially
That's
could
what
happen.
he does.
So, yeah,
that's what he does. He drops his head, and then he tries to get soft free kicks. He's always hitting the ground, and can't have that. This is this is the part where men stand up now. This is a fucking prelim.
Yeah,
like this is it. This is what your career is. Your entire career. Think about the greats of the game. The greats. They all built their reputation in finals.
Yeah.
This is his opportunity. So
Yeah.
I don't see why he can't and why he shouldn't or wouldn't.
he's got the ability to do it. I'm not doubting his ability. On his good day, he is up there with one of the best. But it's getting into there and staying there consistently. That's the concern I have.
I'm just hoping that concussion maybe knocks some sense into him. Could work in our favour.
Good call. Good
Getting
call.
Find
straight.
out, won't we?
Marty, now we've all come up with a few suggestions on how we think Harry needs to come into the game. I think Marty's put up a good point as well in the chat. Marty reckons that Harry just needs to smoke a bit of shisha before the game and he'll kick a bag.
No worries.
Yeah, makes sense. I like that.
There's something else to smoke.
Allegedly.
Now
Where's
we'll go
George?
through. We'll go through the teams now.
Sorry, Amal, before we go through that,
Yeah,
Kemp, how do we feel about Kemp?
I don't mind it. And the reason why is because the forward line of Brisbane isn't tall. They do have 2 talls, so they've got Danaher and Hipwood, who are their tallers, but the rest of them are short, quick, live wires. And I think if we had Marchbank, McGovern, Wiedering, and Kemp, I think would get outrun. They'd be running circles around us. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Now, I don't know how quick Boyd is and whether he's going to be the solution to, shutting down such a powerhouse of a forward line. But I think it's the right move. I don't know, boys. What do you guys think?
I'm the same. I'm in the same boat. I'm just trusting the process, trusting the system that got us here.
Yeah.
They look at games totally different to how we look at games. So you just trust the pros that are getting paid to do it. I never thought I'd say that about Carlton, by the way. You trust the selection committee. But I think we just do.
I just hope he's fit enough. That's the only thing that's got me concerned.
Yeah, that worries me.
That's the only thing.
Yeah. Yeah. To those watching along, what are your thoughts on the inclusion of Jordan Boyd and the omission of Brody Kemp? Let us know in the chats and we'll have a quick readout of them as well.
Look, my 2 cents, Kemp is definitely stiff. Had it been a different game, like we saw against Melbourne and Sydney, Kemp would be starting 100%. I don't know, your Chincotters, your McGoverns, your Marchbanks, have they done more than Kemp? Do they fit in better than Kemp into the current structure? Obviously, I'd say yes, based on the decision. Maybe it's a fitness thing. Maybe he, didn't get through one of the training sessions. We don't know. You got to look at it for the bigger picture. But he was definitely stiff. But we backed the decision.
Yeah, it's a horses for courses type situation here, right? If it was a taller forward line, then definitely I don't think Kemp would have ever been in question. But the reason, because it is Brisbane, and we'll have a look at their forward line right now. It's Cam Rayner, Joe Danaher, Calamachi, Charlie Cameron, Eric Hipwood, and Zach Bailey. Aside from Danaher and Hipwood, the rest of them they're not the tallest of players. They're short, they're quick, and they're not going to be looking them as aerial targets. They're going to be more on the lead, and that's what they're dangerous at.
Yeah.
So
I think it's important to remember what Boyd actually brings to the team too. So Boyd brings a great kick, great disposal. He brings run. And he brings a bit of poise as well. Whereas Kemp he had his moments. He had a couple of really, really, rough moments where I think he cost us a goal against Sydney. Crucial.
Yeah,
and he
that
was
little one around the goal.
Yeah, and he was a bit
fumbled
fumbly as well against Melbourne. I don't know if that, makes a difference as far as what we're bringing into the game, as far as what the coaches are looking for. But, it couldn't have helped his cause, unfortunately. So I think the poise and that slightly a bit more mature head coming in with Boyd. So
I've just got a little bit of a flashback on Boyd. He's a hard nut. He's a really contested player. So that lock in our defense, he's going to be really vital in that. So, yeah, absolutely. Really important.
Great call out.
It seems to be the recurring theme in the chat as well, with a lot of the people watching along saying that both Boyd and Saad will offer us a lot of run and carry, which is going to be exciting to see. And Harry Sindus reckons that Boyd has sublime skills, which Andy, you just touched on. It's very easy to forget how a player plays when they've been out of the team for so long. Add to that we've also been winning. Surprise, surprise. It's very, very easy to forget the players that have come in and out of the side. And Boyd, when he was here, aside from that, the first game that he played, which was against Collingwood back in round whatever it was when we lost, Indigenous round. Since then, he's been a rock in defense.
Speaking of rocks, I just want to acknowledge a guy in the comments, Chris B. I think he's a Collingwood supporter. He literally wrote that the Pies Army will blow Carlton.
Yeah, that's a bit homo.
That's a bit sus. If they want to have a bit of a,
blowing contest,
bit of a blow, I'm sure Collingwood would win that. Pretty strange thing to say on the internet on a Thursday evening.
Might want to track those comments, mate.
Christopher is the B for blowjob. Oh, poor Christopher.
Collingwood's got to start blowing.
They love a blowy, don't they, Collingwood? They love giving them out down at Victoria Park. Chris is number 1 in line too, on his knees.
Hey, straight out. We've been talking about GWS a bit in the lead up to the finals and in the last 2 games. I think Collingwood have their work cut out for them tomorrow night against the Giants, because there's a big sound in the rest of the town.
It's gonna be a good game. That's gonna be a solid game.
Absolutely.
If I'm GWS, I'm running straight into Nick Dacos, the little dog.
Hope he cops
Straight
it.
He'll back off. He's not going to take that on. No way.
He'll get straight to his knees. It's
He's
what
a little
Collingwood
rat.
does.
A little marshmallow.
It's gonna be a very interesting game, Collingwood GWS.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about the scumbags, so
No.
we're here to talk about the beggars.
Let's quickly go through the teams. Backline for Brisbane: Brandon Starcevich, Harris Andrews, Darcy Gardner, Connor McKenna, Ryan Lester, Keaton Coleman, going against the forward line of Tom De Koning, Harry Mackay, Sam Doherty, Lockie Fogarty, Charlie Kierno, and Jesse Motlop. In the midfields, Hugh McCluggage, Josh Dunkley, Dane Zorko, Blake Akers, Paddy Cripps, and Ollie Hollins. Following Oscar McInerney, Lockie Neal, Jared Berry, and for Carlton, Mark Pitney, Adam Chera, and Sam Walsh. The forward line of Brisbane, as mentioned before, Charlie Cameron, Eric Hipwood, Zach Bailey, Cam Rayner, Joe Danaher, Callum Archie, going against the back line of Alex Chincotta, Jacob Wiedering, Adam Sard, Caleb Marchbank, Mitch McGovern, and Nick Newman. And on the interchange benches for Brisbane, Devin Robertson, Lincoln McCarthy, Jasper Fletcher, Darcy Wilmot. And on the bench for Carlton, Jordan Boyd, George Hewitt, Matty Cottrell, and Jack Martin. How are we going to win this game?
Keep it away from Cameron.
Yeah, that's one way. That's one way of doing it.
Honestly, we're gonna win it from our defense. And I think our contested game is going to get us over the line. Brisbane is they run. Yeah, their transition game is next level.
Yeah,
keep the ball off them. Make every contest count, and we'll get the points.
They play like Collingwood, like a pack of bitches. They don't like contested footy. Keep the ball off them, you win.
It definitely needs to be physical, and I hate saying this, but to get over the line, you kind of need to. There's probably going to be a few injuries. It needs to be really physical, really locked, really contested. It's the game that's going to be, I think in the midfield, really critical that we get on over the top. Pitternet needs to throw bodies around. Cripps again, we saw last week Cripps and Wiedering were asked to come off, didn't want to come off, told them where to go. So it needs to be that sort of game. It's going to be interesting.
Okay,
it will be. It will be. I think just looking at the lineups, right? So we've gone tall in the back line. Sorry, short in the back line, shorter than normal. But then our forward line is quite tall. So Charlie Curnow, Harry Mackay, Tom De Koning, and Jack Martin. Not that he's necessarily tall, but he plays as that third, or in this case, probably even fourth tall. So I think, yeah, to your point, Andy, Brisbane's transition game is A1. Right, it's all class. And the only way that we're going to win this is by playing our territory game. That territory game, we've seen it against Sydney, we saw it against Melbourne. Is whenever the opportunity isn't on to sort of take it down the middle, we're gonna go to the wings. Right, we're gonna look for a Harry or a TDK or a Pitney to take the mark down the wing, gain some territory, and then see whatever options are on from there. Looking at the back line now, whilst Jack Payne isn't there, I think they're still going to be relatively tall in the back, and they're going to have problems. They're really, really going to have problems there, especially if Harry Mackay starts to clunk them. Let's not worry about his goal kicking at the moment, but if he starts to take the marks there, I think Brisbane might be in trouble. This is a prelim. Anything can happen. Now, I get that all the experts and everything like that are writing us off, which is understandable. Brisbane haven't lost at the GABBA at all this year. But prelim, we weren't supposed to beat Melbourne last week. Before Sydney, we weren't even supposed to make a final. To Musa's point, we've played 11, 12, 13 elimination finals in a row, bar the GWS one. Why can't we beat them?
Why not us?
Why not us?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to crash. They crumble in finals. Every game they've had this year, all right, it's been at home. They haven't lost a game. Their opposition got, 5,000 supporters there. The baggers are going up there in force. There's going to be a lot of them.
Yeah.
The noise is going to get to them. Pressure's going to get to them. You know what I mean? It's different. Finals is different. Different ball game.
I can feel Mus saying something negative. Mus is
No,
about to say something
I'm
negative.
actually, bro, to be honest, I have to have that deep breath. Getting really anxious. Straight out. My heart's
I'm telling you, it's a different ball game. Different ball game finals. It means nothing. You've won. You haven't lost it all yet.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what. The last 2 times we've played them, the second last time we played them up there, we played one good quarter and almost pinched the game off them after they were up by 8 goals.
Last year?
That was last year.
I think we were down by 66, if I recall.
Well, there you go. I think we got within 2 or 3 goals.
3 goals,
Actually?
yeah, I think. Yeah.
Far out.
And then this year, that's when we were like, in that pit. So things weren't well. I'm quietly, I'm not going to say quietly, I'm very confident. I'm openly confident. We are playing with a level of heart that is so rare. A level of belief that is so rare. We trust each other. We bleed for each other. And more importantly, we play for each other. And I think that's just so hard to beat. That is so hard to beat against a team that, all right, they'll kick 2 or 3 goals. They'll kick 4 or 5 goals. But they know they're just going to get back up off the canvas, man. Come the third quarter, or as Melbourne found out, deep in the fourth, when you think you've got us on the ropes, mate, we're going to swing. And you better be up by enough. Because if we swing hard enough, we can score quick enough.
Mm.
And I honestly, truly believe we can get this win and come home going into a grand final, boys.
Huge.
I wholeheartedly believe it.
Imagine
You just painted this picture for me, and it was all sunshine and rainbows and all the rest of it, all screaming on chairs. And I think the
I'll tell you
team
what,
that is
sorry,
more
Mus,
accurate
if we're gonna
wins.
we're going to win, it's not going to be sunshine and rainbows and lollipops, mate. It's going to be dark. It's going to be dirty.
Yeah.
And my cat is scratching the shit out of my door right now. I don't know if he's going to.
Yeah,
That's what we got to do. That's what we got to do.
the cat's
She's on
acting
edge.
anxious
Exactly.
too.
We've got to
She's
claw
on
our
edge.
way. We've got to claw our way. She's keen. Right, Mus.
It's I think the team that hits the scoreboard well and doesn't that takes advantage of the chances that they get in their forward 50 is a team that's going to win.
Mhm.
So,
Chills.
I'm so pumped. I can't even like kick back in my chair. I'm like sitting upright. Like I'm just.
I reckon Voss, probably want to prove a point too. He got sacked from the club.
Mhm.
Now he's down a prelim.
Against them.
It's, against the old team. It's good. It's good.
Just adds. It all adds another layer. Why not us?
Why not us? Think of it like this. We are 4 quarters away from a grand final.
Our best matches anyone. Our best matches and beats anyone. Why not us?
Exactly.
Why not on Saturday?
Oh, man. Look, this might be a bit technical for most, but I think if we score more, we'll win.
we know that.
Log off, mate. Log off. Just log off.
Jeez. All right, let's get into the predictions. For those watching along, let us know what the final winning margin will be. Leading goal kicker and best on ground. Mus, I'll kick it off with you.
Leading goal kicker. Who will win? Best on ground. Ooh.
stroke your beard.
Yeah, I think I need to. Actually, just quickly before I get to that, just for some motivation for all the Carlton guys out there and gals who are going to the game, just some food for thought. I was talking to a friend today on the phone, and on our logo that we've had for 200 odd years, the phrase "mens sane compra sano" that we've got on there. We're the only AFL club who has that, and where we're at the moment, a healthy mind in a healthy body. I don't know. That speaks volume for me, and that's where we've come from. You know, where we were pre that bye game. There's belief, and it all starts in the mind. And if we can go there with a positive energy and with the right mindset, we can get the job done.
Yeah.
So that's my little 2 cents. That come off
What's
that of the
motivated
combo
me
that I had
to jump
today.
on the ground?
I'm ready to run through a wall.
Now, man,
Like,
a moose.
run through
Damn.
my cat. I'm just going to belt my cat.
Carlton by 18.
RSPCM.
Carlton by 18 points. We will win by 18 points. Best on ground. Best on ground.
Kuda feeders.
Walsh.
Walsh.
Yeah, it's
Walsh
hard
is
to
gonna
look
back
past
it up.
Walsh.
Yeah.
He's going to back it up. Its stage has been set. He's at that elite level again. 18 points. Walsh. Goals. I'm going to go Motlop. Motlop's going to get... He's the different... He needs to be the difference because when ball hits the ground, there's no always. Martin probably a little bit, but I think Motlop needs to get front and square. He doesn't need to go up. He doesn't need to be in that third. He doesn't need to go up for any contest. He needs to be on that ground. So any ball that hits the ground, he needs to pick up and snap between the goals. So I'm going to go Motlop with 4.
Wow. Just having a look at the chat, Lou Felino baggers by 31, Charlie with 7 goals and Walsh best on ground. Justin baggers by 30, Harry with 6 and best on ground, Walsh. Cameron Bayer, Carlton by Walsh best on ground and leading goal scorer, Charlie with 3 and Mackay and Martin with 2 each. Georgie, Carlton by 2 points. Charlie get best on ground and dump out the team he grew up supporting. And Luca baggers by 4. Harry kicks 4 and best on grounding is Cripps. Cripps to have a massive one. Cripps hasn't been as heavily relied upon in this final series, which is incredibly impressive when you come to think about it, right? I think throughout the final series, it hasn't been our big names that have really got us over the line. So if our big names start to fire this on Saturday, we might be in for a big surprise. Carl, your predictions?
Let's just go back to forget that they haven't lost any games there this year. Put that behind us. Fuck them.
In the
means
mouth.
nothing. In the mouth. Them cop it in the mouth. Look, it's going to be a tight one. It's not going to be an easy one. I reckon. I don't know. I reckon Harry or Charlie is gonna have a good game. I can't pick who's going to kick more, but I reckon either one of them is going to kick 4 or 5.
I'm getting so nervous.
Bad.
I'm actually nervous.
BOG, I'm going to go Cripps. I reckon Cripps is going to have a belter of a game. And I've got us, I'm going to say 8 points. We win by 8 points.
Jeez.
8 points. Yeah. But you know what? I'll take 1 point. Straight out.
I don't know if my heart can.
Emmanuel B. King Charles best on ground with 5 goals, and the final score baggers 90-55. He's got us winning by a long way. Damo reckons it's going to be a draw with extra time, and Carlton kick the first 4 to win in extra time. That's a first. I haven't heard that one before. Our friend Ava, Carlton by 7, Harry with 3, and best on ground. It's either going to be Doc or Cripper. Kiss and Cousins. Okay. Baggers by 4, best on ground, Akers, Charlie with 5, and Jack with 4. That would be incredibly nice to see. And Marissa Mills, baggers by 25, best on ground, Walsh, and Martin with 4. Andy.
Yeah, I reckon we smash them. I
love it.
I reckon we cave these dogs. I reckon they'll be really inaccurate. I think they'll be shockingly inaccurate. and I think we're going to take our chances, and we'll win by 7 goals. Hey,
I love it. I
I
love it.
reckon we'll do it. I'm going to say Harry. Harry's kicking 6. Harry is going to make a name for himself, and it's going to be his name in lights. Harry Mackay, 6 goals. And best on ground, other than Harry, I reckon Walshy's going to just rip him apart again. And if it's not Walshy, I reckon I wouldn't be surprised if they send someone to Walsh. I'm going to go Adam Chera. I reckon Chera's due. And this is a perfect stage for Chera. Amal?
Zainab reckons Blues by 11, Saad best on ground, Martin with 4 goals. Hamza, Blues by 3, Kerno best on ground with 5 goals. Joe Bruno, Blue Baggers by 17, plus the premiership as well. Love it. Love it. Only Carlton, Blues by 18, Harry kicks 4, and Walsh best on ground. Man, I think it's not going to be a blowout, I don't think. I think it's going to be, again, within a goal. It's now time. Like we've had against Melbourne and against Sydney, we've had, I don't mean this in a bad way, but our bottom 6 really perform and really get us over the line. The likes of Matty Cottrell and Blake Hakers, who initially was kind of bottom 6, but now he's proving that he's not. But those type of players have really, really lifted the bar for the football club. Against Brisbane, we need the likes of Cripper, Chera, Walsh, Kerno, Wiedering, Saad, Mackay. We need these guys to really step it up a gear and show why they are the elite players on the Carlton Football Club's playing list. This is their moment to shine, Andy. Like you said, right? I'm with you, Andy, and I reckon that it's going to be Harry as the leading goal kicker. I think this is his time just to shut the critics up. Shut me. I'm probably his biggest critic. I think he's shocking in front of goal, and what he's getting paid, he shouldn't be anywhere near that for his goal kicking ability. What he provides around the ground, yeah, absolutely. But ultimately, you're a key forward, and you really should be kicking goals, especially when those opportunities come to you, like the 2 he missed against the D's. But I think it's going to be within a goal. Please, Carlton win. Harry with 6, and Cripper to be best on ground. Did I say Harry with 6? What am I thinking?
It's going to happen, boys.
Harry with 5.
Boys, we're going to a fucking grand final.
Can't believe.
I'm telling you. We are going to the granny. And we're going to play GWS. And we're going to wreck them.
Ooh, sir. Hey, but on a serious note, look, I don't want to be that party pooper, but if we lose, look, everyone that's up there, I want everyone to get around the boys.
100%.
Lose, you know what I mean? Cheer them off. They deserve it. They've made us happy this year. They've made us proud.
Absolutely.
It was a rough start. It was a rough, even the middle towards the season. It just clicked. But yeah, if we fucking do lose, which I hope we don't, I want everyone just to get around them, man. They fucking deserve it, man.
We're winning.
We're gonna fucking win.
Fuck it. We're winning. Carl just broke his table.
Oh, jeez.
I can't sit. I'm literally like off the chair. Whoa.
It's going to be crazy, and I'm so happy for the boys that are going up. Andy, Mus, and George will be up at the GABBA at the game. So for those that are making the trek up to Queensland, if you see them, stop them, say hi. Make sure you get around them, get around the boys, win or lose as well, right? As Carl said, I don't think you could have said it any better. They deserve it. They have truly made us happy in the back half of the season, happy enough to forget whatever happened at the start. They have seriously turned the season around and turned a corner as far as a footy club is concerned as well. So a massive game. I can't wait for Saturday.
We'll be at Icon Park.
We will be at Icon Park. Carl and I will be at Icon Park. So for those that aren't able to make it to the GABBA, but we'll be at Icon Park. Come past and say hi. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Before you go, to everyone traveling up, like Amal said, get around us, get around everyone. one of my favorite things in the world is traveling to an interstate game because, and I was telling Mus this the other day, seeing other Carlton fans is like seeing family. So let's get around each other, you know, make noise when you're walking down the street. Let people in Brisbane know that Carlton is in town. You know, so let's really make some noise. Let's tear shit up, win or lose. Let's go out after and let's tear the city apart. Let's show them what the North is made of. You know what I mean?
Let them know that they're gonna cop it in the mouth.
100%, Carl.
You know what I mean?
Benji in the chat reckons that Brizzy will cop it in the mouth too.
On you, Benji.
On you, Benji.
That is cemented on your car now. That is your saying.
Yep.
It is. You own it.
Get it on
Own
a
it big
t-shirt.
time.
That's it. If you don't
Get it
like
on a
someone, just
t-shirt.
tell them, cop it in the mouth. All right? Everyone you hate, just say it to them.
Hey, if you are going to be in Brizzy, just walk. If you walk in the streets, right? You cop it in the mouth. You cop it.
Everybody cops it in the mouth.
Everybody cops it in the mouth.
Then you see Collingwood players just waiting, excited.
Oh, fantastic.
Let's get it done, boys. Let's get it done.
Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Until Saturday, get pumped up. Get pumped up. We're in a prelim. Let's enjoy this. Let's really just soak in every single second of the next couple of days leading up to the game and the game itself, right? Get G'd up, boys. We're going to a preliminary final. We're 4 quarters away from a grand final. 4 quarters. Take that in. Take that in. Righto, and until then, it's sayonara for the Mad Blue. See ya. Thanks, bye.
Go, Carl.
Sick and now.
The baggers.